Now, from WYDC TV, this is Big Fox News at 10.
Thanks for joining us tonight. I'm Harriet Wallace. Well, tonight, local Democrats are calling for an Elmira City Council member to resign his position. This comes as Republican Councilman Tory Kitching made his first appearance at a city council meeting in 4 months. Matt Kleindens joins us from Corning to break down the latest.
Good evening, Harriet. Councilman Kitching has been out of the public eye since July, and the Chemung County Democrats are calling for his resignation and for the mayor to appoint a replacement. On Monday, Councilman Tory Kitching made an appearance at the virtual city council meeting after a months-long absence. According to the Star-Gazette, Kitching has not attended an Elmira City Council meeting since July. The absence has prompted the Chemung County Democrats to call for his resignation. In a Facebook post, the county Democrats stated that Kitching's absence was unacceptable and left the city's 5th district without representation in city government. Mayor Dan Mendel also weighed in on the matter, saying that Kitching doesn't have to show up to council meetings. However, he is frustrated by his absence. I reached out to Kitching earlier today. However, he was unavailable for comment. Kitching's term with the Elmira City Council runs through 2023. Matt Kleindens, Big Fox, WYDC in Corning.
First Arena in Elmira now has new tenants in its building. The Chemung Industrial Development Agency approved a new lease for Tad Ross Sports to manage that building. In addition to sports, the company plans on transitioning the building to host concerts and other events. The Chemung IDA will introduce the new management team on December 1st. Steuben County legislators voted to approve a new budget for the 2022 fiscal year. The $221 million budget proposes to increase spending on public works, recreation, and health services while decreasing spending on education, home and security services, and also general government. The budget also includes a tax cut of 15 cents per $1,000 on average. The full budget can be viewed on the Steuben County website. A New York City woman nicknamed the Obit Bandit is sentenced to at least 11 years in prison. Get this is what she got in trouble for. She's convicted of burglarizing the homes of widows who were at their husbands' funerals. Eric Feldman attended her sentencing hearing.
On the worst day of their lives, in walked LaTonya Stewart, convicted of burglarizing 6 Westchester homes, picking her targets because she knew no one would be home. It was their spouse's funeral.
To break into someone's home to steal their property while they're in mourning is just cruel.
Family heirlooms, jewelry, gone. Some recovered in Stewart's apartment, most still missing.
The ER nurse came in and gave me his wedding ring while I was with him after he passed away. This was just gut-wrenching.
Prosecutors read statements on behalf of 2 victims, one in the courtroom too distraught to speak or be shown on camera.
The pain that she has caused me to this day will never go away.
Stewart did not address the court. Prosecutors asked Stewart to be sentenced 15 years. Stewart's lawyer argued the single mom with 2 kids should spend 3.5 years behind bars.
More than sufficient to teach my client any lesson that it seems like the people and probation think she needs to be taught.
The judge opted for between 11 and 13 years in prison, calling the crime cruel and hoping the sentence brings some closure to these victims.
Jury deliberations are underway in the trial over the fatal shooting of Ahmaud Arbery. Prosecutors made their final pitch to jurors this morning. Lauren Blanchard has more.
You are considering the case of the state of Georgia versus Travis McMichael, Gregory McMichael, and William R. Bryan.
A Georgia jury deliberating the fate of 3 men charged in the fatal shooting of Ahmaud Arbery. The 12 jurors will determine whether father and son Greg and Travis McMichael, along with neighbor William Roddy Bryan, are guilty of charges including false imprisonment, aggravated assault, felony murder, and malice murder.
You must apply the law I give you in the charge to the facts as you find them to be.
Judge Timothy Walmsley giving jurors their final instructions before deliberations. The panel received the case after a 13-day trial, charged with proving beyond a reasonable doubt the state getting the final word Tuesday morning, telling jurors the McMichaels and Bryan were the ones who approached the 25-year-old as he ran in their neighborhood.
You can't claim self-defense if you are the unjustified initial aggressor. Meaning if you started it, who started this? Wasn't Ahmaud Arbery.
Defense attorneys maintain their client suspected Arbery of burglary, feared for their safety, and were attempting a citizen's arrest. Just outside the courthouse, Arbery's mother says she's anxiously awaiting a verdict.
We will get justice for Ahmaud.
A new poll shows support for stricter gun control is at its lowest since 2014. According to Gallup, 52% of Americans say the laws covering firearm sales should be stricter. In 2019, support for stricter gun laws was at 64%. That dropped to 57% last year. Gallup notes Americans' support for stricter gun laws usually goes up after a high-profile mass shooting, but then drops during periods without those same events. The White House is hoping to help lower the price of gas. Can you even imagine? President Joe Biden announced plans to release 50 million barrels of oil from the Strategic Petroleum Reserve. A White House spokesperson says it's part of a group effort involving China, India, Japan, South Korea, and the United Kingdom. That's because the price of oil is determined on a global market and is based on supply and demand. Supply is largely determined by output decided on by the OPEC cartel, which is made up primarily of Middle Eastern oil-producing nations. The coordinated release of oil is an attempt to undermine OPEC's control of the market. At the height of the coronavirus pandemic last year, oil traded below zero as producers struggled to find locations to store the oil they had extracted. It's known for its $1 price tag for all products, but not anymore. Some bad news here. The bargain chain Dollar Tree is raising its prices for the first time in 3 decades, and surprisingly, it's not due to inflation. By the beginning of next year, items will be $1.25. Dollar Tree says the price hike will give them more flexibility to bring back customer favorites and also introduce some new items. The company also says the increase will help with freight and distribution costs as well as wage increases. Dollar Tree has sold products for $1 for 35 years now. It was the last of the major dollar store chains to sell everything for just $1. Still ahead tonight, Monica McNeil has your Big Fox forecast. And later, if you have some Thanksgiving dinner questions, who exactly are you going to call? Well, the experts, they are back to help. Details coming up.
Here's your local stock market update from Big Fox. Now, your Twin Tiers forecast from Big Fox.
Hi, everyone, and welcome back. This weather forecast is being brought to you by William Mattar. I'm meteorologist Monica McNeil in for Kim Walker tonight, and our weather headline is shaping up like this: mostly dry, not as cold over the next day or so. So we're going to warm up by the time we get to Thanksgiving, and then we'll begin to see rain and snow showers arriving by the end of the week. Your forecast for tonight: our winds will continue to diminish. We've got clear skies out there, and that sets the stage for some radiational cooling, which basically means those temperatures will be dropping quite a bit. We're looking at mid-20s at 10 p.m. and around 11 p.m. through the overnight hours, in the low 20s, and we're down to about 21 degrees for the start of your Wednesday morning. Your forecast map shapes up like this. We've got high pressure controlling the weather, high pressure along the coast, but on the backside of that high, we'll begin to experience south and southwesterly winds, which will bring in some much warmer air temperature for us. The air is a lot milder, so our air temperature is going to rise. So therefore, by Wednesday, we're looking at highs getting into the upper 40s with that south-southwest wind at about 5 to 10 miles per hour. Now let's take a look at future radar to give you an idea of where this next system is coming in. We're talking about the rain showers. Well, there's a cold front that's going to be tracking across the country by the time we get to Thanksgiving. It is going to increase our clouds for some Thanksgiving, and we could pick up a couple of showers on Thanksgiving. There you are. You can see that Thursday morning at about 6 a.m. That's all of the precipitation that is associated with that cold front that's going to be moving through. As we advance our future radar, you can certainly see that those showers do sweep on by, but not a whole lot. A couple of sprinkles. I think more significant is by the time we get into Thursday night and definitely into Friday, as we'll see more widespread showers and our temperatures will begin to come down. Therefore, we'll see the return of snow showers by the end of the week. But in the meantime, let's just enjoy this quiet weather, right? Mostly, partly cloudy skies for us tonight. Right around 21 is going to be the low, and then our high tomorrow of about 48 degrees is going to be sunny and much warmer temperatures. Here is a look at the 7-day weather planner for you to kind of plan things out for yourself. Overnight temperatures will be in the low 30s to mid 30s, mid to upper 30s. And then our daytime temperatures are going to be pretty nice up until Thanksgiving. So we'll be in the upper 40s. We may even break that upper 40 and hit 50. By the end of the week, though, we've got that major cold front coming through. It's going to bring in some snow showers, also bring in the rain. We could see a couple of sprinkles for your day on Thanksgiving. All right, that's a look at your 7-day weather planner. Stay with us, folks. We've got more news for you coming up.
This Thanksgiving is shaping up to be busier and more expensive than the last. Kevin Cork has the latest on travel numbers, plus why health experts are still recommending safety precautions for the holiday season.
Planes, trains, and automobiles. Americans are getting ready to use them all this Thanksgiving, as AAA estimates a whopping 53.4 million people will travel for Turkey Day. That's actually up by 13% compared to last year.
We're all vaccinated, we have our cards.
And airports are already seeing the influx, with TSA reporting more than 2.2 million flyers passing through security checkpoints on Friday. That's a pandemic-era record.
Feels a little bit safer, so I don't know. I'm feeling good.
But while vaccines are helping more people feel comfortable leaving the coop, rising travel numbers are being met with rising COVID cases.
30 of 50 states are showing increases in the number of COVID cases being reported. We're looking at about 90,000 cases per day.
Experts have given the green light to visit family this holiday, but even though kids as young as 5 can now get the shots, many will still be considered not fully vaccinated before Thanksgiving, and the CDC is recommending everyone take precautions.
That means masking indoors. That means perhaps doing rapid tests.
Staying safe not the only concern. Rising gas prices ahead of the holiday have those traveling by car plenty worried. The White House says the president could make oil available from a federal stockpile in an effort to help lower fuel costs, which would certainly be good news for everyone.
Can COVID be stopped with chewing gum? A new experimental gum may reduce the spread of COVID. Researchers say the gum reduces the virus in saliva with a protein that traps coronavirus particles, limiting the amount of virus that is passed when those infected talk, breathe, or cough. Scientists say the gum feels and tastes just like regular chewing gum. Researchers say it would add to the benefit of the vaccine and would also be helpful in countries where vaccines aren't available or affordable. A new study says red meats and processed meats, fried foods, and sugary drinks can cause inflammation and also increase your heart disease and stroke risks. The study examined more than 210,000 people and tracked their diets. Pro-inflammatory diets increased heart disease risks by 46% and stroke risks by 28%. But eating certain inflammation fighters like green leafy vegetables, yellow peppers, carrots, and walnuts help drop those risks. The study is in Journal of the American College of Cardiology. Thanksgiving-related searches are spiking on Google ahead of the holiday. The most searched side dishes, according to Google Trends, include casseroles, potatoes, and cranberry sauce. Tryptophan is also peaking as people are thinking about whether or not they're going to be in a food coma. Other big searches include when to take the turkey out of the freezer and what to wear with boyfriend's family. People are also already looking forward to leftover casseroles and leftover sandwiches, with searches trending for both of those topics before the holiday. A woman from Washington says she's lucky to be alive after someone threw a massive rock onto her car while driving on the interstate. Connor McCarthy spoke with the woman and shows the extensive damage under her car, plus the frustration she feels for the lack of police response.
Thursday afternoon, Naomi Dobrien was getting off I-205 when a rock...
I was just kind of panic at the moment because that noise out of nowhere and just not expecting that to happen just kind of made me stop the car.
In this video, you can see a man standing on the side of the off-ramp near Northeast Gleason Street. Dobrien tries to move out of the way, but the man throws the rock, hitting her windshield, nearly going through her car. She says this is the second time in 5 years her car has been hit by someone throwing rocks on the side of I-205.
Same thing, I was driving down 205 South and someone on the side of the road threw a giant rock in my car. It wasn't this big, like this one was as big as his head.
Dobrien says the man cheered for himself and then went into a homeless camp on the side of the off-ramp.
He was laughing and yelling and thought it was really amusing and just kind of ran off.
She says she called Portland police, but it took them more than a day to respond with a phone call.
It's really scary. It makes me feel like, what would it take for them to actually come out? Did the rock have to be even bigger? Should I have been injured? It really makes you feel like that situation wasn't big enough for them to come out and even talk to me.
Portland police says this case is under the Multnomah County Sheriff's Office, and they're investigating another case of a man throwing rocks at MAX trains. For Dobrien, she says she hopes the man is caught because he's still out there and she's afraid there will be another victim.
I could not imagine if that was my mom or if that was someone else that I knew, someone elderly. That's what terrifies me, is that it could happen again.
Connor McCarthy, Fox 12 Oregon.
The nation's largest automaker is turning some attention towards the water. General Motors acquiring a 25% stake in a Seattle-based company specializing in electric boats and outboard motors. The company, Pure Watercraft, will partner with GM and will receive direct supply chain and manufacturing assistance and access. The Detroit-based automaker hailed Pure Watercraft as, quote, a pioneer in sustainable electric marine propulsion technology. The deal is reportedly worth $150 million. Dress rehearsals for a more normal Thanksgiving Day parade this year are underway in New York City as America is ready to crank up holiday spirit again for Macys Turkey Day celebration. Dana Arshan has the story.
We wish you the best on Thanksgiving Day.
A chill breeze in the air, not keeping these performers from rehearsing for the 95th annual Macys Thanksgiving Day Parade. Jenna Claire Mason stars as Glinda in Broadway's Wicked.
Even right now for rehearsal, you can see people lining up at the barricades. I can see them right now, just eager to see the excitement and the joy that the parade brings. And I think everyone's really thrilled.
The parade, with its creative floats and iconic character balloons, will be back in full force this year after it downsized significantly last year due to COVID. The only difference than years past, children under 12 won't be allowed to participate in the parade itself, but they will be allowed to watch as spectators along the 2.5-mile route.
Adding some extra layers of precaution just to ensure that we can have a safe and healthy parade and make sure that everyone who comes out can enjoy.
Macys is requiring that everyone participating in the parade be vaccinated, but there's no requirement for the spectators who will line the streets in droves along the west side. There will be 28 floats, 15 balloons, 10 marching bands, and a number of other musical performances. Lisa Noguera came from Texas to support her daughter, who's dancing in the parade.
It's great. I mean, the fact that we're able to be out and outside and the parade's still happening. We didn't even know if it would still be happening. So, the fact that it's still going on is great.
This is just the start of all the excitement. On Wednesday, the balloons will be inflated throughout the day. And then, of course, the big parade on Thursday.
We want to leave you with a smile tonight. Butterball's Helpline for all things Thanksgiving turkey goes into its 40th year. When should you start thawing your Thanksgiving turkey? This and other burning questions brings thousands of people to Butterball's Turkey Talk line every November. In 1981, the service started with just 6 experts answering the calls. Now, 40 years later, the company accepts questions from the phone, text messages, Amazon Alexa, social media, and this year, TikTok. If you're in need of some cooking consultants, give the Turkey Talk line a ring at 1-800-BUTTERBALL. Thanks for joining us. Have a great night.